Hey guys, welcome back to Manicro Custom Guitars. And today I want to give a little update about these magnificent guitars that I'm building. And later on in this video, we're going to see some staining, oiling action. So it's been a while since I did my video of the joining of the body blanks, and since then, it's passed some time, but since then I did some work off camera. I did machine some of the blanks, some of the necks, which will cover up in future episodes. I did some shopping. In fact, I bought this nice piece of flamed maple top. I joined it and glued the top together. And this will be for the Divine Edition, which will be featuring a maple top, stained in black with a gloss finish, and the body will be ash in a white gloss finish. And that's the Divine Edition. While I was shopping for this top, I saw a listing for a nice poplar barrel top, which is this one. I saw it on eBay. It was a good price. I never worked with a barrel before, so I figured it would be the perfect occasion for the other build, which I'm calling the Odin Nebula Edition. Now that top is this one. Well, it's already glued on the body blank, and it's stained black already, because this will have a particular color scheme, hence the name Andromeda Edition. And this particular theme, the color theme for this particular Odin, it's heavily influenced by Crimson Guitars Nebula 2.0, which most of you might be aware of. So yeah, a lot of color will be done to this particular top. Regarding the body, it will be in a black matte finish, but the top will have a nice gloss finish. And little spoiler, I won't be using lacquer for the top. In fact, I will be using just epoxy, and we'll see how that will evolve. Speaking of poplar barrel, this is quite a soft wood, and while I was joining this top, I was kind of afraid of passing it through the jointer. So I used my CNC flat bed, and I clamped the two pieces together and used a long leveling beam with some sandpaper to it, and I sanded down the edges for a perfect flat surface. And like that, I safely joined this top together. And it's a great alternative of, instead of using, even if you don't have a big planer or a jointer, you can use this method, which works really fine. Now, being a softwood, this didn't take much time, but if you're working with a maple top, that might take a little bit more. Speaking about the necks, all three of them are in a different manufacturing process. In fact, the A-string neck is still a blank with the alignment holes, and that's it. I really need to crank up on that. The Divine Edition with the maple top, that neck is on the CNC at the moment. It's almost finished. I was just finishing up the inlay on the CNC, and yeah, that took me quite some time on that. Mentally and physically, it was quite a thing to accomplish. Each piece was cut from a tiny piece of a bologna shell, and to plan the cuts and not to waste material or to break or to avoid some breakages for the bits. It took really some time to finish that up. Later on in the series I will have some detailed footage about the inlay and explanation regarding fusion resisting, but that is for another episode. The neck for the Andromeda edition is, well, almost it's done from machining. It's here already, and this one has a quite particular fretboard to it. If you follow me on my socials, you've seen it before. And yeah, later on, in the second part of this video, we will be talking about this fretboard and start the sealing procedure. So yeah, this neck, it's almost ready for frets. I know it's quite late in the video, but let's roll the intro and start oiling this fretboard. Let's talk about this neck, especially this fretboard. Now, this is the neck for the Andromeda edition. In fact, you can see this little Andromeda inlaid on the 12th. This is just some resin with some pigments in it. And if you're interested in seeing how I stained this wonderful fretboard, well, you're in a bad luck because I didn't film it. This fretboard is actually what Bob Ross likes to say. It's a happy accident. It wasn't planned. In fact, the original plan for this fretboard was to just stain the fretboard in black and then with some steel wool remove some of the stain, but the black didn't really pop this fretboard nicely. It's maple, yes, but it's not, but it doesn't have a consistent white look to it. In fact, this area is quite yellowish, so when I stained it black, it wasn't really nice at all. So I kind of experimented with some colors, and well, this thing came out, and it came out really, really nice. As you can see, the neck isn't finished. The plan is to stain the neck black as well, but I'm really tempted to gradient this color along the neck as well, but I'm not sure about that. But for sure, this neck is going to be stained in black and glossed out. But just before I continue working on the neck, I always like to install the frets. Well, that's basically my workflow. With the frets installed, there is kind of a layer of protection when I'm clamping down the neck to sand down and stuff like that. There is kind of a layer of protection to protect the fretboard from scratches. Because to remove a scratch from a fretboard, especially with the frets installed, it's kind of pain in the ass, especially since the fretboard is stained. Now, just before I install the frets, I like to seal the fretboard. Now, I'm not a big fan of putting lacquer on the fretboard. In fact, I'm not good at it. And usually, what I like to do, I like to seal the fretboard with True Oil. In fact, I love that product. And it's much easier to put True Oil or any kind of oil finish on a fretboard before the frets rather than after. So that's where we are at the moment. I'm going to put some finish on this fretboard. The other problem is that I couldn't find True Oil locally. So I ended up going on the internet, going on eBay, and I did find True Oil, no problem. But the thing was that shipment here to Malta, it was much more expensive than the actual product. So I really was battling with myself whether to order it or no. And then I decided to look for some alternatives. One thing that came to my mind was this kind of product. This is Crimson Guitar's Penetrating Guitar Finishing Oil. And technically, if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of reverse engineer from True Oil. And well, this was much more cheaper than than True Oil, which I found on eBay, and even shipping was even cheaper. I didn't just buy this by its own. In fact, I got the high build guitar finishing oil as well, because it was worth it to get them both for the same shipping. Now, little disclaimer, this is not a review for this product. I paid for this product myself, and well, to be honest, I trust that this product will do what they are advertised to do. I know that Crimson sells Fretboard restoring kit, restoration oil, and something like that, but this is not restoring. I just want to seal and apply a nice finish, so that's why I went with this product. I will start with the penetrating oil. I'm not sure if I'm going with a gloss finish or satin finish on the fretboard. I know that the neck will be gloss, would be lacquered and gloss, but I'm not sure whether to gloss the fretboard or no at this point. I know that with this product I can do a satin or gloss finish. In fact, I can always go finish up with the high build, but first it's important to start with the penetrating oil. On their website, even on their tutorials, they suggest to use a wet and dry 1200 grit sandpaper for applying this. Well, you can always use a rag or a paper towel, but they recommend to use wet and dry 1200 grit sandpaper. But to be honest, I don't want to risk ruining this stain, so I don't think I'm going to use the sandpaper method. Besides, this is maple, doesn't need any grain filling, so I'm just going to use paper towel. The fretboard is sanded down to 400 grit and some steel wool, so it's nice and smooth. I don't want to put oil on the fretboard. I will put oil on the rack and then just rub it down. I'm checking whether I'm picking up color, but I'm not picking up color, which is good. You just rub it. The first coat is, with all oil finish, the first coat will be a bit heavy because the wood will suck in most of it, but it's really nice. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to leave it 5 minutes to dry, 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to wipe the excess. Leave it to dry, and then the next coat I need to wait until it's fully cured. So maybe next day I will put, well, not maybe, next day I will put another coat. I'm thinking I might go with 8 coats. I'm going to put 4 coats of the penetrating, and I'm thinking to put 4 coats of the high build, just for the fun of it. Okay guys, so that's it for today. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it, and learned something from it. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. If you're new to my channel and you haven't done so, please, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you will be aware about my future releases. I'll do CNC and guitar building related content. If you want to see more of Manicure Custom Guitars, in the description down below you'll find links to my socials. I am on Facebook pages, Instagram, and yes, even TikTok. If you're looking for means and way to support this channel, you'll find link to my Patreon as well. And until the next time, take care and goodbye.